Connors joins us now. What's going on, Greg? Welcome back to the USA after the London trip.
Well, I'll say it's good to be back on American soil. I just hope the Bills now play better being back home than they did at their home game in London.
Oh, man, you had to see that up front. All right, second loss of the year. Your thoughts going in, Giants and Bills in Buffalo.
Well, I hate to do this. The Giants haven't lost a game within 14 points, I think, the last 3 or 4 weeks. But there's just something about this Ken Dorsey offense. I don't know if they're going to be able to distance themselves. I'm going to go with the Giants to win and not the Bills not being able to cover the spread.
Really?
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm starting to feel a little bit good about that. Bob, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think if Saquon's healthy, which he hasn't been in quite some time, I think they got a chance to beat this point spread as well. I mean, we were just talking about this. Jones has to have a great game.
Yeah.
And the Bills' secondary, I think, is a little vulnerable. You know, they gave up a lot of passing yards, so it could happen. It could be the perfect storm for the Bills to go 3-3.
All right, Ryan. All right, I know this is a lot of pressure on you. With a lot of people looking at the Giants, liking the money. What are your thoughts?
I can't believe I'm the outlier in all this, that you guys are taking the Giants plus 14. This is a team the Giants that gets sacked constantly. Yes, there's issues with the secondary for Buffalo. Yes, there's issues with the offense that we saw last week in London. But if Daniel Jones or Tyrod Taylor, for that matter, can't get the ball to his receivers, how in the world are you going to cover 14 points? There's no way, in my opinion, that the Bills are going to lose this game, and I absolutely see them covering the spread.
As we're recording this right now, this whole issue with Jones's neck, not quite sure about that. You got to have Tyrod. He's got to get his snaps this week. So there's a possibility, maybe game day, maybe later on in the game, that you might see Tyrod Taylor in this game. All right, Greg, any other game outside of the Bills-Giants game you're interested in?
I do have a game. Can you imagine if Tyrod Taylor came back into Buffalo with Daboll and kept it within 14? That would be a story.
It sure would, and I'd love to see it. Boy, it would be interesting for Daboll's return to Buffalo.
Now, my other game, I'm going to go with the Lions. The Lions are, I think, plus 3.5 against the Bucs down in Tampa. But I like this Lions team. They're tough. Campbell's got them playing strong, and I think they're going to upset the Bucs.
Let me first say this about your pick. Dan Campbell was made so much fun of when he first became the head coach. Bob, he's playing old school football, and it's turning in results.
Yeah, he was like a high school or college rah-rah kind of guy.
Yeah.
But, on the way over here, I was thinking to myself, that's kind of, players in the NFL are still young guys. They're still in their 20s, right? Mm-hmm. They still need that motivation from the hierarchy and the upper echelon of the program. And I'm telling you, he's got them playing tough. And wouldn't it be a great story if Goff brings Detroit a Super Bowl?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, the L.A. would just be sitting back like, he could have done that for us.
And that would be in Vegas.
Yeah, and it would be in Vegas. That would be even better, that everybody gets to see it. You have a game this week you're interested in, something in the end?
I'm very interested in the Detroit game. I mean, I'm not jumping on the bandwagon, but I've loved Detroit ever since Barry Sanders. Who hasn't, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And you squeeze for them always because they had great players and never had a really good program or a really successful program over the years. So I'm excited for that fan base. Yeah. They're as good as the Steeler fan base. They're as good as Bills Mafia. They deserve some success, and I think this could be the team that delivers. It's always been, we're talking about the AFC for the playoff run and for the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
you got the Niners, you got Detroit and the Eagles.
Yeah.
I think the NFC is dominant this year.
Any pick this week for the NFL Week 6?
It got to be Chiefs minus 10.5. I mean, that's not nearly enough points to play the Broncos. Now, granted, by the time this is airing, the game will be over, being on Thursday Night Football, but I'm hoping I'm not eating my words there.
Well, either way, Greg, we were talking about this off air. The Chiefs are not the Chiefs anymore. It's like a bizarre, different type of Chiefs team that's going through some sort of offensive transition.
Yeah, you got to trust Andy Reid, though. I mean, the Andy Reid and the Chiefs, that's what it feels like to have an offensive coordinator, the guy that can find the spots. But it's going to be an interesting game with the Chiefs-Broncos. And Bob, I was with Bob until he brought up that the fan base in Detroit is almost as good as Bills Mafia. That one, I don't know about that.
Yeah. They're starving for a championship, too, in Detroit. So we are. A nice blue-collar town is Detroit, so wish them the best of luck. Greg Connors and Ferris, thanks for the time this week. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for having me.
This week, I have to go with the Commanders over Atlanta. I know Atlanta's on a good roll here, but the Commanders are a dangerous team. And for the pick from Pat Duffy, a.k.a. James Bond, let's find out what Pat is picking.
Hey boys, greeting from jolly old London town. I miss you all very much, and I'll be back next week. But while we're here, I'd like the Bills to win against the Giants. I don't think they have the 14 points in them with all the injuries they got going on, but I hope I'm wrong. Meanwhile, I do like the Seahawks to cover the 3 points against the Bengals this Sunday. So, Bills to win, not to cover. Seahawks to cover the 3 points against the Bengals on Sunday. We'll see you all next week in the press box.